Most cars on the road today don't make it past 200,000 miles. Some are retired early due to costly repairs, others because their owners neglect them, and a few because of accidents or rust. Yet there are rare cases where vehicles reach astonishing milestones: 300,000, 400,000, even 700,000 miles. When people see a car with that kind of mileage, they often assume it's a fluke, or that the car must be some legendary model known for indestructibility. But the truth is, longevity isn't just about what car you buy, it's mostly about how you treat it. After analyzing countless video, expert advice, and stories from high-mileage car owners, I've compiled 17 key habits that can turn an ordinary car into one that lasts a lifetime. These principles revolve around conscientious driving, diligent maintenance, and preventative care. Let's break them down into 3 major categories: driving habits that reduce wear and tear, maintenance habits that keep vital systems healthy, ownership habits that protect the car over decades, driving habits that add years to your car. Most people don't realize it, but the way you drive every single day has more impact on your car's life than almost anything else. A car is a collection of thousands of moving parts, all working in harmony. Every harsh input, every rough stop, and every ignored rule of physics slowly shortens its life. Here are the driving habits that make the biggest difference. 1. Don't idle to warm up a cold car. Many drivers still believe you need to warm up your car by letting it idle for several minutes on a cold morning. While that might have been true decades ago with carbureted engines, modern fuel-injected engines don't benefit from extended idling. In fact, idling a cold car can do more harm than good. Here's why. Most engine wear occurs within the first few minutes after a cold start. The oil is still thick, hasn't fully circulated, and metal parts are scraping against each other with less lubrication. Idling prolongs that period of poor lubrication. Instead of quickly warming up, your car just sits, burning fuel inefficiently and letting condensation form inside the exhaust system. The better alternative? Drive gently for the first 5 to 10 minutes. This warms up the engine, transmission, and all moving parts faster and more evenly. Experts agree this one change alone can add thousands of miles to your engine's life. Number 2. Use smooth acceleration and braking. Aggressive driving might feel exciting in the moment, but it's one of the fastest ways to wear out your car prematurely. Sudden acceleration dumps raw fuel into the cylinders, stressing pistons and rods, while slamming the brakes wears out pads, rotors, and suspension parts. A long-lived car is driven smoothly, predictably, and with finesse. That doesn't mean you can't drive briskly, it just means avoiding extremes. Smooth inputs save the engine from unnecessary strain, the transmission from harsh shifts, the brakes and tires from premature wear. Professional fleet drivers, such as those operating taxis or delivery trucks, are trained in smooth driving techniques for this exact reason. Over hundreds of thousands of miles, it makes all the difference. Number 3. Brake before turns. Many drivers have a bad habit of braking while already in a turn. Not only is this less safe, but it also puts extra pressure on your suspension, steering, and tires. Here's the rule. Do all your braking in a straight line before the turn. Once you're in the corner, let the car coast or apply light throttle. This technique is taught in advanced driving schools because it preserves vehicle balance, prevents understeer, and protects critical components. Even for everyday driving, this habit reduces uneven tire wear and minimizes suspension stress. It's small choices like this, repeated thousands of times, that separate a 150,000-mile car from a 500,000-mile one. Number 4. Use the parking brake every time. When you park, especially on a hill, most drivers just shift into park and walk away. The problem is, this puts the entire weight of the car on a tiny metal piece inside the transmission called the parking pawl. Over time, that little part can bend, break, or wear down, leading to costly transmission repairs. Instead, get into the habit of setting the parking brake before shifting into park. This way, the brake holds the car's weight and the transmission stays stress-free. Even on flat ground, using the parking brake keeps the system active, preventing cables from seizing and ensuring the brake will work when you really need it. Number 5. Don't ride the clutch or gear shift manual transmission drivers, this one's for you. Resting your foot on the clutch pedal, even lightly, can engage the release bearing and cause premature wear. Similarly, resting your hand on the gear lever puts pressure on internal parts of the transmission. These habits might seem harmless in the moment, but over thousands of miles they can destroy expensive components. The solution is simple. Keep your foot off the clutch unless you're shifting, and keep your hands on the wheel, not the shifter. 6. Avoid hitting potholes and curbs. It sounds obvious, but potholes are car killers. One deep impact can bend suspension components, throw off wheel alignment, damage tires and rims, stress steering parts. Even small hits add up over time. A car that routinely slams into potholes will feel loose, develop rattles, and wear tires unevenly long before it's time. Being vigilant, slowing down, swerving safely when possible, and keeping tires properly inflated saves both your suspension and your wallet. Maintenance habits that keep cars alive. Driving habits set the foundation, but maintenance is the backbone of a long-lasting vehicle. Think of it like personal health. Diet and exercise matter, but so do doctor checkups. Skipping maintenance is like ignoring warning signs. It catches up with you eventually. Here are the maintenance habits that separate 100,000-mile cars from 700,000-mile legends. 7. Service the transmission regularly. The transmission is one of the most expensive parts of a car to replace, yet many owners neglect it, assuming the fluid is lifetime fill. Manufacturers like to advertise sealed for life transmissions because it lowers the advertised cost of ownership, but mechanics know better. In reality, transmission fluid breaks down just like engine oil. Heat, friction, and contamination slowly reduce its effectiveness. If ignored, you risk overheating, slipping, and eventual failure. Change automatic transmission fluid every 40,000 to 50,000 miles. Consider adding an auxiliary transmission cooler if you tow or drive in hot climates. For manuals, replace clutch fluid or gear oil at recommended intervals. A single fluid change costs a few $100s, but replacing a transmission can cost thousands. High-mileage drivers know which one is smarter. 8. Change oil. More frequently than recommended. Oil is the lifeblood of your engine. Manufacturers often stretch oil change intervals to make their cars look cheaper to own, sometimes recommending 10,000 to 15,000 miles between changes. But if you want your car to live forever, don't take the risk. Experts recommend changing oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, especially if you drive in stop-and-go traffic. Live in a hot or dusty environment. Regularly tow or carry heavy loads. Using high-quality oil and filters provides even more protection. Engines that receive fresh oil consistently are far less likely to suffer from sludge buildup, worn bearings, or catastrophic failure. Room 9. Keep the tank above a quarter full. Running your fuel tank near empty stresses your fuel pump. The pump relies on gasoline not only as fuel but also as a coolant. When levels get low, the pump overheats, shortening its life. Additionally, the bottom of your tank collects sediment over time. Running low can suck debris into the pump and injectors, leading to costly repairs. For long-term ownership, always keep the tank at least a quarter full. It's a small habit that prevents expensive headaches down the road. 10. Keep all fluids topped up. A car doesn't just rely on oil. It also depends on coolant, brake fluid, power steering fluid, and sometimes transmission fluid. Any one of these running low can cause catastrophic damage. Low coolant equals overheated engine, warped heads. Low brake fluid equals dangerous loss of stopping power. Low power steering fluid equals pump failure and steering rack wear. Checking fluids monthly takes just a few minutes, but can save thousands of dollars. Many long-term owners keep a small stash of fluids in their garage or trunk for top-ups. 11. Replace or clean the PCV valve. The positive crankcase ventilation (PCV) valve is one of the most overlooked components in an engine. Its job is to vent pressure and gases from the crankcase, preventing sludge and maintaining seal integrity. A clogged PCV valve can increase oil consumption, create sludge buildup, blow out engine seals. Replacing or cleaning it every 50,000 miles is cheap insurance. For turbocharged engines, many owners also install an oil catch can to prevent carbon buildup on intake valves. 12. Replace filters on time. Engines need clean air and fuel to run efficiently. Skipping filter changes means dust, dirt, and debris enter the system, accelerating wear. Engine air filter, change every 15 to 30,000 miles, more often in dusty conditions. Cabin filter, change yearly for clean airflow and a healthier HVAC system. Fuel filter, replace per manufacturer schedule to protect injectors. Clean filters equal a cleaner, longer-lasting engine. Ownership habits that protect the car for decades. Finally, beyond driving and maintenance, there are lifestyle habits that help preserve your vehicle. These may seem small, but together, they create an environment where your car can thrive for hundreds of thousands of miles. 13. Don't ignore dashboard warnings or strange noises. Cars are designed to tell you when something is wrong. Ignoring warning lights or pretending you don't hear that rattle is one of the fastest ways to kill a car. High-mileage owners share one trait: they fix small problems before they become big ones. A check engine light today could be a $50 sensor. Ignore it, and it could turn into a $2,000 catalytic converter. The same goes for noises. Squealing brakes, knocking engines, or whining bearings are all cries for attention. Listening to your car saves its life. 14. Clean and wax your car regularly. Mechanical care is important, but so is protecting the body. Rust is the silent killer of cars, especially in regions where road salt is used. Once rust takes hold of structural parts, the car is done, no matter how well the engine runs. Washing your car regularly, especially in winter, removes salt and grime. Adding a coat of wax once or twice a year creates a protective barrier against UV rays, bird droppings, and pollutants. Long-term owners often use underbody sprays or rust-proofing treatments to protect vulnerable areas. A shiny, rust-free car isn't just nicer to look at, it's one that survives the decades. 15. Park in a garage, whenever possible. Weather is brutal on cars. The sun fades paint, cracks dashboards, and bakes plastic. Freezing temperatures stress batteries, seals, and fluids. Rain and snow accelerate rust. Parking in a garage shields your car from these elements. Even a simple carport or cover makes a huge difference. Over years, the savings in paint restoration, rust repair, and interior preservation add up significantly. 16. Let the turbo cool before shutting off. If you drive a turbocharged car, this habit is critical. After a spirited drive, shutting off the engine immediately can trap hot oil inside the turbo, baking it into sludge and damaging bearings. The solution? Let the engine idle for 1 to 2 minutes after hard driving. This allows the turbo to cool gradually and oil to circulate. Modern cars with turbo timers or electric cooling pumps help automate this, but the principle remains the same. Treat the turbo kindly, and it will last as long as the engine. 17. Run the AC regularly. It may sound counterintuitive to run your air conditioning in winter, but it's one of the best ways to keep the system healthy. The AC system relies on lubricated seals, which can dry out if not used regularly. Running the AC for just a few minutes each week keeps refrigerant circulating, preventing leaks and ensuring the system will still work when summer comes. Final thoughts. Building habits that add decades. No car lasts forever, but the difference between a car that dies at 150,000 miles and one that reaches 700,000 often comes down to habits. None of these 17 principles are complicated or expensive, but they require consistency and discipline. Think of it like fitness. Anyone can go to the gym once, but it's the daily habits, eating well, exercising regularly, and avoiding bad choices, that build a healthy, long-lasting body. Cars are no different. By driving smoothly, maintaining diligently, and protecting wisely, you can extend your car's life far beyond what most people consider possible. The next time you hear about a car reaching 500,000 or even 700,000 miles, remember, it wasn't just luck, it was habit.